Welcome back to the channel. My name's Max. I'm back in my old studio or on my old set. I got a copyright strike for having the TV behind me when the ball game was on the other night because they thought I was trying to rebroadcast copyrighted content. Okay, hey, I have a show today. I want to do a really quick show, and I think I'm going to start doing it every day, but I want to study these four funds and how they're doing against each other. So we have Blox, we have ULTI, ULTY, and K-Yield. Now, they got off to a little bit of a rough start, but let me talk about them really quick, and then I'll let you get on with your day. These results are through Friday. The market just opened 6 minutes ago, but these results are from October 31st through Friday. So here's what I have for you. All right, so first of all, Friday's results. ULTY killed it. They beat every other fund, not just the four I talk about. I follow more, but the specific ones I'm interested in are ULTI, Blox, K-Yield, and ULTY. They're the most similar. These other ones are good funds also, but I just want to follow them for comparison purposes mostly. Anyway, ULTI was up 2.3% when the market was just up 1%. And the Qs were just up 95 basis points. I don't think I've ever seen ULTY do that. They've made some changes to their portfolio. They put in some stocks like Google and some kind of old school stocks. I think that made the difference on Friday. But in any way, Costco, Google, Facebook, it's just one day though. ULTI was down 2% and Blox was down about 2.5%, and K-Yield eked out a little gain. Okay, but since inception, ULTI, and this is including dividends, is down 34.96. Blox is down about 30. ULTY is down 15.6, and K-Yield is down 15.4. To me, ULTY and K-Yield are protecting capital about as well, at least since inception of these funds back in late October, or the last day of October. In November, it's pretty much a tie between ULTY and K-Yield. And then there's a big drop off to Blox and ULTI. So now let's look at the positions really quick. These are the positions for ULTI for today. These are the stock positions. And then I'm going to talk really quick about the option positions. But these guys have 7% cash going into today. They have Oscar Health, SanDisk, Lemonade, Nano Nuclear, Galaxy Digital, Unique RE or Uniqra, however you say that, Bullish, Riot Platforms, NewScale Power, Solar Edge, Global Star, SharpLink, Kohl's, CleanSpark, Viking Therapeutics, Marathon Digital, Pagaya Tech, Terrestrial Energy, and then they have some T-bills, and they have Skywater Technology and Canadian Solar. So I looked at these option positions so you guys don't have to. This is ULTI from Rex. They got off to a rough start. When they first started, they had an unhedged option strategy. They were pretty much had full upside and full downside, and they still pay a yield, which is amazing. But in any event, they've now hedged their option strategies, and they had them hedged last week also. They still have a four-leg option strategy, but you can see here -83, -83, then 83, and then you have one leg that's double the other leg if you want to look at these yourself. Well, the leg that's double is the out of the money put. That turns the trade into a collar, and that means on bullish, if bullish drops to 0, they can only lose down to 33. Their loss is defined under 33, and that's the same way it is on all of these. 287, 287, 287, 574. The 574 is the CleanSpark out of the money puts at 10. Same way on all of them. So they're totally hedged this week. We'll see how they do. And by hedged, I mean they're hedged like ULTY is. They have a collar on essentially. All right. So now let's look at ULTY. Speaking of ULTY, now their stock positions are Palantir's a big position, 5.5%. But they have Facebook. They have TMF, which is a treasury bond ETF. They have Robinhood, Coinbase, Gold. They have Costco. They have Gold Miners. They have Astera Lab. They have Alphabet, Rocket Lab, and then they just directly own some IBIT. They own shares in IBIT, which is Bitcoin. Then they have Iron, Symbotic, Circle, some T-bills, materials processing, Affirm Holdings, Oklo, Quanta Services, Celsius Holding, SoFi, SMR, and SoundHound. As far as option positions go, these guys have on their usual collars. Now they're running more like on the less volatile stocks like Costco and Google. They're running a 3-leg collar, but it's still a collar, still has cap downside. The third leg is just to bring in a little bit more income and possibly help offset some of the drag that the collar causes. The put on the collar, since you're buying premium, it causes a drag. Anyway, we'll see how it works. It was darn sure working a lot better Friday. They changed their prospectus, or they didn't change their prospectus. They've been changing their strategy over the past week and a half. All right, so that's ULTY. I'm trying to make these quick is why I'm talking fast. I'm trying to make this 8 or 9 minutes at the most. All right, so Blox. Now, Blox, the other three can buy any stock they want in any sector. Blox, because of their prospectus, it says that they invest in stocks in Bitcoin and DeFi stocks. So they have to confine their picks to that industry. And that's been part of the reason why they've been hurting so bad. The other part of the reason is they don't have capped downside. They have full downside, the way their option strategies go. And they still aren't capped. They still aren't hedged. But, but it doesn't mean they're bad. It just, you don't have to be hedged. Anyway, it's the fund manager's choice. But if you aren't, you'll do worse obviously you'll get hurt worse in a down market. In any event, all right, HODL, they have 16% in HODL, 16% in FBTC. Then they have 9.5% in Ethereum, ETHA. Then, as far as their stocks go, they have IREN, Hut 8, Taiwan Semi, NVIDIA, Cipher Mining, Riot Platforms, T-bills, Coinbase, Galaxy, Robinhood, Webull, Bullish, Bitfarms, Mara, Bitmine Immersion, Circle Internet Group, and they even have a little bit of strategy. It's less than 1%, and they have a small amount of CoreWeave. As far as their option positions go, like I say, they run a very standard policy. They mostly on their stock positions. They do something a little bit different on their Bitcoin positions. They sell call spreads, but on their stock positions, which make up the other, what is that, 20, 40, 45, the other 55% of the portfolio is made up from stock positions. On these, they do a strategy called a lightning spread, and the lightning spread does not have capped downside. All right. And the last one is K-Yield. Now, I saved K-Yield for last because this one, these guys can buy any stock they want, and they can reason, and they can also do any option strategy they want. And they have a few different option strategies on them. I'll just give you the Reader's Digest version. First, let's check their holdings. They have Teradyne, 6.2%. They have some T-bills. They have GDX, just like ULTY did. They have SIL, which is silver miners. They have Howmet Aerospace, defense contractor. They have Broadcom, Shift for Payments, Intel, Shopify, Reddit, Vistra, BWX Technologies, AppLovin, Advanced Micro, Robinhood, Hims and Hers, Roblox, Coinbase. They have some T-bills. They have about 3% of the funds in Galaxy. They have about 2.78% of the fund is in Bitmine Immersion, and they have a tiny bit of cash. Okay, so on the option positions, I looked at these so you guys wouldn't have to. Their typical trade is a covered call. Sometimes they don't sell all the contracts. Sometimes they go further on the money, but that's kind of their standard trade so far in the 2.5 weeks this has been around. What they've done different, what they do different is sometimes they buy premium. They all the other funds, all their option trades bring in time decay. They bring in theta decay. Well, most of their strategy does bring in time decay, but they occasionally will put on a position in a stock where they're buying premium, and there's 3 examples of that. They have Bloom Energy. This is just a call spread. they're buying an in the money option and selling an out of the money option, but it's still a debit trade, and that's just a straight bet on Bloom Energy to go up. They're buying premium there. They want Bloom Energy to go up. Then in addition to that, on IBIT, this is just a straight long trade also. They're buying a call and selling a put. That replicates having stock. That sometimes can be a credit trade. Sometimes it's a small debit, but still it's just a straight bullish strategy. It's not hedged on either side. It can go up as far as it wants, go down as far as it wants. They did that on IBIT. So they have a bullish bet on Bloom Energy, bullish bet on IBIT, and then on the Qs. On the Qs, they have on a long straddle, a strangle. Strangles where you buying out of the money call and you buying out of the money put. And it's just a bet on volatility. You want the market to go way up and the trade will make money, or you want the market to go way down and the trade will make money. It's also a bet on volatility, but that is also a debit trade. So other than that, they have all credit trades. So we'll see how they do. The market just opened. Let's see how they're doing now. The market's been open just a few minutes. Blox is up 4.2%. Great job, Blox. Remember, they don't have any hedge on the downside. They don't have any hedge on the upside. It works both ways. So let's check ULTI. These guys do have a collar on the downside, but they're unlimited. They're fairly unlimited on the upside. In any event, these guys are up 1.58%. Great job, ULTI. Great job, Blox. Now let's check ULTY. These guys are hedged on both sides. They have limited upside and limited downside. These guys are down 0.5%. And let's check K-yield from Curve. And like I say, these guys do whatever they want. Some of their trades have unlimited upsides. But in any event, K-yield is up 1.6. So that's good to see. I will talk to you later. Remember, not financial advice. Consult a professional planner. Also, if you'd like to, you can always support the station at paypal.me/maxconvexity. Thank you very much and have a great day.